Hey there everyone, my name is Ro.
And I'm David.
And we know with RV season approaching, many of you out there are looking to buy a new or used RV for the first time ever. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about 8 mistakes to avoid when purchasing an RV.
And we actually just made a video recently that is about 11 things that you need to look for when purchasing a new or used RV. So when you're done watching this video, go ahead and check that one out too for even more RV buying tips. The first mistake you want to avoid when searching for an RV to buy is falling in love with the first RV you find that you like. Because odds are there's another manufacturer, another model, and another floor plan out there that fits your travel lifestyle better than the first one you come across. And even if that first one you find is actually the perfect floor plan and model for you, you might be able to find something out there that's actually cheaper if you keep searching. Now, when we were first searching for our RV, Ro had a really hard time with this. You know, we would find an RV that we really liked and she would be like, yeah, that's the one, let's buy it. And I was like, no, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes, let's keep searching because there's probably something better out there for us. And sure enough, we would find another floor plan that we liked even more. And then Ro was like, okay, that's it, let's buy it. And I was like, calm it down, calm it down. Let's keep looking. And you know, we went through like 4 or 5 different floor plans before finally settling on this Keystone Springdale behind us. And I'm so glad we did because we love this travel trailer. We've had it for 4 years now and we're gonna have it for a lot longer still.
Another mistake to avoid is thinking that you have to buy new in order to get a good quality RV. And that's just not true. You can buy a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old lightly used trailer or RV out there that'll save you about 20% of the price versus new. And it's funny because this is another mistake that David and I made is we ended up buying this travel trailer brand new in 2017 and we paid the full price for it, but if we had bought a 1-year-old or 2-year-old lightly used trailer that someone only took out like a couple times a year during the summer just for a weekend or something, we could have saved ourselves 20%! That is a big chunk of change to save, even on something that's a cheap little trailer like ours.
The next mistake to avoid is letting high-pressure salesmen force you to buy. And a lot of people unfortunately fall into this trap because, you know, salesmen will just be like, what can we do to get you to leave with this RV today? And then they'll start throwing at you like, you know, we can take it down to this much, but only if you buy it today. And so you think that you're getting a deal that only lasts for, you know, the time that you're there. And if you walk away, you'll never be able to get that deal again. And that's just not true. You know, if they're willing to offer you that price now, then they're willing to offer you that price later as well. They also might try to make you feel rushed by saying that, you know, these models are moving really fast and they're not sure whether, you know, this same model is still going to be here in a couple days because they've had a ton of people looking at it and being interested. You know, they're just going to try and make you feel rushed, feel like you have to act now or you're going to miss out. And you know what? They might even be telling the truth, and that's okay, because I guarantee you that there will be another RV dealer somewhere near you that has that same make and model, or they might be able to order that for you or find a used one that is extremely similar or exactly the same. Now, what Ro and I did when we went to RV dealers and the salesman came up to us is we just told them right away, we said, we're just looking, you know, we're not ready to buy today, we're just looking. And that salesman would just hightail it out of there because they're like, well, I'm not getting commission from them, I don't care. And then it allowed Ro and I to just leisurely look at RVs slowly and not feel rushed by a pushy salesman.
Another mistake to avoid is to not fully inspect an RV before you buy, maybe because you feel awkward or you feel like you're being pushy and asking a lot of questions or looking around the RV and trying to run appliances. But those are very important. If you buy an RV, even a new one, and there's something wrong with it and it's under warranty, it's still going to be a pain in the butt to get something like that fixed. It's going to be at a shop somewhere for a little while, who knows how long, and then you have to deal with warranty stuff. And then for a used RV, if the person that you're buying it from doesn't have the ability to hook it up to power, so you have to bring your own generator or something, you might feel a little weird because having to fully inspect an RV, it can take a while, you know, probably over an hour at least, to look through everything, try all the appliances, make sure everything is working, and it might feel to you like you're wasting that person's time. But it is very important to look through everything. So even though it might be awkward, or some people might make you feel like it's a big deal, like David and I, when we went to some dealerships, there were a lot of salesmen that seemed pretty annoyed that we wanted to be so thorough at inspecting all these different trailers and testing things out. But then there were other dealerships where if we called them ahead of time and we said, hey, there's this specific model we want to look at, they would actually offer to pull it around and have it all warm inside, because we were actually looking at RVs when it was cold outside. And they had it all nice and warm, and we got to test the lights and the air conditioner and all sorts of things. It was just so very nice. So when we ended up finally purchasing our RV, we made sure we bought from one of those really friendly dealerships.
The next mistake you need to avoid is once you've found the make, model, and floor plan that you know is right for you, don't just hurry up and buy the very first RV of that type that you find, because you may be able to find an RV dealer nearby that is selling it for cheaper. Now, Ro and I were able to do exactly this. We found this exact travel trailer that we have at a dealership very close to our home, and we went and we toured it, and it was really nice. But they were asking a couple $1,000s more than an RV just an hour further away from that dealership. So once we had toured this RV and we knew that we wanted this exact floor plan, we knew that it was perfect for us, we searched online, we found a cheaper one, and that's the one that we went with, and we were able to save a couple $1,000s just by searching around online.
Another mistake you want to avoid is not touring enough different floor plans and different brands of RVs when you go out and look. Now, David and I searched for over 6 months before we finally settled on the travel trailer that we have now. But even since getting our travel trailer and this whole time that we've been in it, we have still come across other floor plans and other little tiny features here and there of other brands of RVs that we've thought, that's really cool. Man, that would be so cool to have in our RV, don't you think? And it's just amazing how many different floor plans are out there. And you can only find so much online, and then you can only find so much when you go touring. So it's important to make sure that you combine both of those so that you can get a good feel for all sorts of different types of layouts out there. And there are a lot of things that are similar between different brands. So for example, you could be touring through a Keystone brand, and then you'll go through a Jayco brand, and you might notice that there are some similarities in some of the floor plans, but there are tiny little nuanced things here and there that someone might like just a little bit more to go with that trailer instead of the other brand. So you definitely want to go through and do all sorts of tours and make sure you look at all kinds of different floor plans, because even if you're just looking at the floor plans online, if you tour it in person, you may come across something that it didn't specify in that floor plan. Like in our travel trailer, I have an awesome spice rack that I had no idea was in here until I actually toured it. So just tiny little things like that could make or break an RV for you.
One huge mistake you need to avoid if you're buying a travel trailer or a fifth wheel is buying your tow vehicle before you are certain of the type and size of trailer you're going to be buying. Now, the reason this is such a big mistake is you might originally think you're going to be getting a fairly light travel trailer or fifth wheel, so you then buy a light duty pickup truck, and then later on you might realize, wait, this is too small. I want a large fifth wheel. We want something big. And now the tow vehicle that you already purchased, you've already spent money on, is now not heavy duty enough, and it is undersized to tow the fifth wheel or travel trailer you get. So you then have to sell this, take a hit on the money you paid for it, and then purchase a different vehicle. Or the opposite might be true, and you might end up getting something like a small travel trailer like what we have that's really light, and then you bought a tow vehicle that is too heavy duty. Like maybe you got like a 1-ton dually or something, diesel, that you then end up not needing, and you have now overspent on your tow vehicle. So what Ro and I did is we made very certain that we wanted a 25-ish foot travel trailer that was right around 6,000 pounds in weight. And we were like dead set on that. We knew that that was definitely what we were gonna get before we bought our truck. And then, so we bought our truck and then went and got our trailer.
The last mistake you want to avoid making is you really don't want to wait until too close to the time you want to use your RV before you actually start looking for an RV. Now, David and I took roughly 6 months, and we are so glad that we did, because we changed our minds on what RV we wanted so many times. And then by the time we did pick out which RV we wanted, we were then able to take even more time to find the exact model we wanted with the color scheme we wanted, and we were able to find it cheaper nearby. So being able to take those 6 months to do all that research really made it so we saved ourselves a massive chunk of change, and we haven't had to change RVs or anything since then. And if you wait until too soon before you want to use your RV, then you're probably going to feel rushed. You're not going to be able to look at all the floor plans. You're not going to be able to go and tour all of these different RVs. You're probably not going to have the time to really try and find the best deal out there for you either.
Yeah, absolutely. So this has been our 8 mistakes to avoid when searching for a new or used RV. Again, we made another video on the 11 things that you need to look for when purchasing an RV. So go ahead and check that video out when this one is all finished. But we hope this video was helpful. We hope you guys find the right RV for you and that you have a lot of awesome camping adventures ahead. But that's all for us. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Sweetie girl,
Say bye.
you gonna say bye?
There it is.
Good girl. Good girl.